Computer audio. Hello, Clark.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Daryl.
Sunshine. And Art's on us with a car all around them. Are you in your car, Art?
Looks like he's there.
Can you hear us, Art?
Oh, there's Art.
John's got us.
Hi, John.
Can you hear me, Graziella?
Yes, I can. Hello.
Hello, hello. You've been busy.
Oh my God. In 15 minutes, in 10 minutes, the alarm goes off. So I have to run real quick to get something out of the oven because I'm having people coming up. If you don't mind, at 5, I have to turn off.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, we should be in good shape by 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Clark, for doing this today.
There, Art's got his audio on.
Sure,
Good.
no problem.
Art.
I'm here.
Good. Okay, I
Hey, we
guess
got
we're waiting
everybody.
for Jerry, maybe. Is that right? So Art, where are you right now? How far out of town?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
asked you how far you're out of town.
Oh, I'm just turning off at 12 Bridges.
Oh, good.
Turning off 12 bridges.
Good.
Only one we don't have is Jerry.
Well, it's just 4 o'clock right now, so maybe he'll be right along.
Yeah. He was going to start the meeting if John couldn't make it, so.
That's true. But I made it.
But you have doctor's appointment, John?
Actually, I had a meeting that was more important than that. It was to get my hair cut.
Ah.
Did you hear that?
Looks nice.
Hey, I paid
Turned
So
out
is
well.
Jerry-
25 bucks.
I got a text from Jerry saying he's waiting to be admitted.
Oh, you
He
know
probably
what?
went to the old link.
He probably went to the wrong link. Yeah.
I'll text him with the good
Yeah,
one.
sorry about that. I think he probably
Okay.
went to the old link. Yeah.
How much your haircut cost you, John?
30.
30?
Um,
You win. My last one was 25. I think they're making up for lost business over the time.
well, this was a fancy salon, you know. This is not. I don't know what a barber charges. I really don't. It's.
Looks good.
I was going to try
looks
a barber shop, and I went in, and they had a whole place full of people without any masks on. I said, I'm not going to stay here. So
I know. I had 2 contractors coming today, and neither one of them wore a mask. I kind
Really?
of got, yeah.
Now,
It's
were-
people are getting very
Were they in your home?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
yeah.
You see a lot.
Keep,
Fewer
keep
masks.
some blue ones right by your front. Keep some blue ones right by your front door, Graziella, and just say here. And if they don't,
I know I should. Well, I
otherwise, I
put
don't
it
do
on.
business with
I know I should. You're right. I need to do that. Absolutely. I just didn't expect it.
yeah,
You know, kind of. Yeah.
I've had several contractors, but they all showed up with masks on, but they're not getting in
Yeah,
if they don't have it.
right. Normally they do. I know.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good about that. Okay, I think we're Jerry is with us, or is he?
Text it to him.
Oh,
We,
thanks.
we could talk about Jerry until he gets on.
That's right.
Well, Jerry found the key to the storage unit, which does not have a key. That was a cute story. Who has the key? Well, there is no key.
Uh-oh.
Storage out.
Now Brian Ludwig's asking.
We probably had the wrong.
Oh, yay. That's how people read emails. I'm not better.
Okay, I'll call Jerry too. I'll just mute for a second and I'll call him as well. I just emailed it to him.
Can I
Okay.
help with anything? Clark? Do you need help with anything?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Before you get home, Art, we're gonna do that.
We're here almost.
I'm just almost home. But we're
I'm gonna go
not, we're
check.
not setting up the old Zoom.
I'm hearing with all the fire at Paradise, a lot of those people went into Chico. I guess the traffic increased by 20% or 25% after the Paradise fire. In other words, my son said it got very crowded. Did you see that when you were up
We
there?
didn't, we
Art?
didn't. Not really. We kind of crossed Highway 7.
Oh, okay.
Traffic there, but there was a lot of traffic going north on 60, on the 60 bypass. You know, I don't know, people going north to Wheatland or somewhere.
Is our house in Marysville still standing?
Yeah, I looked okay. We went past it yesterday.
Well, that's the one that actually is the only one that has been redone a little bit, right? Oh,
What kind of
jeez.
news?
Okay, that's Jerry. Hi, Jerry. Yeah. Yes, you need to look at Clark's email. Clark has a new login. Yeah, he sent an email just yesterday. Yeah.
I just sent him one now too.
Okay. Okay. He'll do it.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Clark. Thanks for
Hello,
stepping
Jerry.
in. I'm afraid I don't look at my emails but once a day, and that put me behind the 8 ball on this one.
No worries.
John, I'm glad to see you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. That's great. Okay, is Brian with us?
He is not yet here.
Okay.
I just texted him the meeting. Here he comes.
Good.
I find if I limit my, the time I spend on emails, or at least the frequency in which I spend on emails, it saves a lot of time and anguish.
I know.
Okay, we've got the agenda up.
Yep.
I think we can call the meeting to order. Attendance and quorum. That's met. Meetings from the minutes from the prior month's meeting. Here they are. February 24th.
I don't know if you want to go through, want me to keep scrolling through these or not. I'm just
Sure. Go ahead.
kind of
Fine.
doing, if anybody
No.
wants to look at it real
I
quick.
move that the minutes be approved.
And I second it.
We have a second?
I second it.
Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, minutes are approved as presented. Financial report, Graziella.
Yes. Financial report ending February 28. We
8 months ended, right?
yes, 9. We have $31,565 in our bank account. And our accounts receivable is 1,250. I will talk about this at the end.
Okay,
No changes to the fixed asset. We have accruals. They are mainly, and you know what? I inverted something here. I'm sorry, guys. I'll have to redo this. But accounts payable is $690, which is, let me see real quick. Eliseo invoice for repair. Accrued expenses should be $1,318.64. And what that is, these are the Robert Dart expenses for the month of February. And they'll be paid in March. And then inverting that, so putting the property taxes below that is $4,969.92 that we have accrued as of February 28. Deferred revenue, I put in, PG&E has paid the entire amount of the rent, so like the $2,000. And 1,000 we have not, they have not really been there, so we haven't earned it yet, so that's why it's in deferred revenue. In security deposit has not changed. We have a net income for, as of February 28 for a negative $379.86.
good.
What comes under the accrued expenses, Graciela?
You know, the bill for Kathy and the bill for the Dart Trust expenses, what I did is I put them in the month that they actually occurred. But we're paying them in March because we're on an accrual basis.
Mhm.
Okay.
At the end of this month, it's a payable.
Yes,
Okay.
will be the same as a payable, yes. But on the next page, I'm looking on the left side as actually of the fiscal year to February 21st, 28 on the left, on the right side, not left, the other left,
Okay. Yeah,
on the
let's,
right side,
so
sorry.
the third column.
So last month, I didn't want to say anything, but basically that donation that you see there, the negative, the under budget, 22,000, that's, what we're supposed to get in the stock when everything closes. That's why we have 22,000 on the budget. There is
We will get that soon.
exactly. We'll get that very soon. Rent, we have we are over budget, which is good. We have 1,170. That's because we get PG&E and MSI that are renting our land right now. If you go further down, we're a little bit, we're under budget with the property expenses, and we're over budget with Kathy's administration fees. Nothing really, I don't think it's a big surprise. It's normal. Legal fees, of course, we didn't expect those. And they came. And everything else, I don't have, actually the repairs, I just want to, I think it's a good thing. We're like $3,000 under budget. So it's really good. We budgeted way more than we actually had, which is nice. On transfer, if you go farther down, almost towards the end, transfer to Lincoln Rotary Foundation, we haven't made yet. That's why it says that we are under budget. So, because we haven't made the transfers yet. So I will make those as soon as you tell me when you want me to transfer that.
I think we'll probably do that in the month of June. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
If at all.
If at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, because we're gonna have all these expenses, right? For when
Right.
when everything's settled. Yeah. All right. So then the next one is just an overview. The next page, please. It's just an overview month over month, what our revenue was every month. And so from the newest to the oldest, as you can see, this month we made more, which is the PG&E and MSI. And then the expenses are pretty steady, the same each month, except the legal fees, of course. But if you go a little bit farther down, the net income each month, I think I'm pretty much on it. I think an average of $2,000 a month income.
So
If you don't have legal fees.
the PG&E is 500 a month, is that right?
Correct. Yes,
And the sign rental is 300.
that's correct. Yep. So, and then here on this page, you see the same P&L again, but it's by building and by land. The first page, this one here, shows you all the revenue by property and expenses by property, property taxes by property.
Mm-hmm.
If you go a little bit further down.
Just for my own edification, Graciela, what, under insurance, additional Kathy Kirby, is
Right.
that an insurance expenditure then?
Yes, so we were actually paying two insurances, right? So Kathy was paying an insurance on properties, and we had our own insurance, which now we canceled, and we don't, as you can see, this in admin. Well, no, you can't see it on the ones previously. There's no expense this month because we stopped that. We canceled the insurance.
Okay. Gotcha.
And as far as I know, we're in discussion, I think, to renew and combine them.
And we got the discount for the over insurance.
Yes.
Property part.
Yes.
We're still insured on the liability side for those properties, but not as a property value.
Correct. Oh, and then on the bottom, It's kind of the P&L by property. And then if we go further down, we can look at the next page. We see the land. So
Okay, scroll
if
down,
you
Clark.
can
please.
go down a little bit. There we go. So here, as you can see, the $1,000 that came in and the 170 for this
Yeah.
month.
Visually,
You know, this month it was prorated, the rent for MSI. So next month will be 300.
right. So this page is really an extension of the prior page to the right, but
Yes,
it gets
exactly.
it gets
So these are the land. So this is
Right.
all the land,
right,
each land that we have.
right. All the vacant
Each
properties.
vacant lot.
Yes, all the
Mhm.
vacant lots. And what you can see that we had a little bit of garden expense and our major expense is the property tax. Other than that, we really don't have any. So it shows the loss that we have on the land.
We should be getting 2 payments in March from MS for the signs.
Oh, they already paid 100 and, okay. So, but
No,
they
there
already
should
paid
be.
100.
Well, in March, I'm just for general edification. They paid in arrears for February, and I called them and we got that straightened out. So
Okay,
they're prepaying March. So there should
okay.
be there. Yeah. So anyway, 600 should come in. Just it'll show up in our March financial.
Okay, great. And then this page here is basically the detail on how every transaction was recorded for the P&L, showing the class and the details for each account. All the tax accruals, all the utilities, and a tiny bit of depreciation. That's all gonna come in as soon as we, just to say that once we have the buildings, we'll be able to have some depreciation too. I can't wait for that. So this is the cash, that was the cash in the bank, the previous page. And here, our trouble kid is Rosales. We haven't gotten anything in even this month. So right now he's over $2,000. I think it's 2,200. Yeah, 2,200 he owes us as of today. Because it hasn't paid March either.
Well, and there's a promise that they'll pay it once they get their stimulus check. Let's hope they stay with it.
Okay.
The report on them is that they've been totally erratic ever since the property was rented to them. Within a year or so, they've probably been in the property, Kathy thought, about 6 years, and that's a ballpark. But she says they were good right up front, and then they started using her as a banker from about the second year on. So she suggests that once we could, you may not want to consider them long-term reliable tenants.
Okay, thank you, Graziella.
Thank
We have a
you.
motion to accept the financial report for 8 months in.
I move approval.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Nope. Good job. Appreciate it. Okay, now we go to old business. Under A, rent status. I think you covered that, but you want to give it to us quickly?
Yeah, so again, everybody paid even for March except Rosales. we have all the agreements for the vacant lots. They're paying, so we're good in that. We have just that one problem.
Okay. And it's a little over 2,000, is that what you said?
Yes, in March, as of today, it's $2,200.
B, which is the status of the trust distribution. Daryl, this is the day we've
Okay.
been waiting for.
Well, the hearing is on April 16th in Superior Court, Placer Superior Court.
Is that
And,
on Zoom or
It'll be virtual.
virtual? Right, virtual.
I haven't seen that, but all of it, yes, it'll be virtual.
That's
I'm
9 o'clock in the morning.
99.9% sure. But
Right.
then the time, as I think we recall from our notices, 10 a.m., I believe it is.
Right, exactly.
Now, I talked to Kathy. I'd been studiously avoiding our attorney, so I wasn't going to ask him about anything like that. But Kathy said that she hoped, and she sounded quite knowledgeable on how the court function in this deal. And she said, if the judge approves it, if it's approved, then April 16th, it's a done deal. She says that's what we can all keep our fingers crossed. And if we're religious, we can do anything we want to do there. But then she said, if sometimes the judges come up with just unusual or unexpected, just to show that they're earning their keep. So unless April 16th is the date, unless the judge decides to do something else in his world. We have to plan everything like insurance and everything else for the 16th, having it ready to go. Actually, the date of the court ruling, I don't know when unless it's verbal right then and there, where the court would put a written ruling out. But we can take title after that, the ruling, and it'll have to be a written opinion from the court, I'm sure. And I'm sorry I didn't check into that as well as I could. But we don't necessarily need to take title the day that the judge says bang. But but we want to take it as soon as we can, of course. Big Ben we're taking there, and as we all know, we spent a tremendous amount of bucks on a grant deed that includes the life estate for Adam Brake. One thing I should ask is, has anybody got any questions? I've read through it, but with some degree of care, and I think the petition states what we wanted to happen. It's not what we wanted to happen, but it's what has to happen. But so does anybody have any questions on the petition, or is there any questions that we're at this level, or any questions that we should be talking to our attorney about?
I don't believe there are any.
No, I don't have any.
Oh,
Okay, well, we'll keep going along that way. That's what I've
Harold,
kind of assumed. If we don't,
Does the life estate,
go ahead, Clark.
does the beneficiary of the life estate have to sign that as well? Or just the trustee when they send it over to us?
He does not have to sign it, but he could object to it. And what's happened is the attorney for the trustee has sent our grant deed, the draft. I don't know whether you ever got a chance to see it, Clark, did you?
Yeah, I
I
saw
don't
it.
know whether you were in those meetings.
I wasn't in the meeting, but I think I was copied on it. I just looked at it briefly. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, it's supposed to be bulletproof. We pounded enough time and money into it. So all the others will be grant deeds. Now we have some question, not some question, but Kathy asked how we want to take time. And I said, let me talk to you after today's meeting, because we've set up LRC Properties Inc. And Then we got to worrying since we weren't getting D&O insurance on it. But we could put the properties into 501c3 and maybe have some D&O insurance there, but I would suggest that we not do that, that we stay with our Lincoln LRC Properties Inc. So, unless anybody has any objections, that would be what I would tell her. The properties go to LRC Properties Inc.
Well, and that's really been kind of the plan from the get-go, you know. When, you know. when-
Yeah, that's what we've been planning. That's what we've had with all of the foundation and the board of directors of the Rotary Club.
You know, it's also
Uh,
for tax purpose, it's also much easier to file the properties than having it included with the foundation. That would be a lot more difficult. So,
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
it keeps the management much more focused on the
yeah,
properties than if we had it
yeah,
on
yeah.
foundation and such. So it's doing what we wanted it to do. The only bug we have is that D&O insurance. I'll cover that in the next item C. The line of credit from the petition, you saw that at the value of the payoff of the line of credit on February 1st was like $35,559, something like that. So by the time they get to the end of April, it'll be a little bit less, but what we'll be doing is paying that plus we have to go back and reimburse, or not reimburse, but I guess so, the trust for the credit line payments that have been made since the passing of Robert Dart on September 11th of 2019. Your RCL pounded some numbers and I pound. Anyway, we think the line of credit will be around 35,000, a little over 35,000. But to take it a little bit further on looking at our cash flow, Graciela and then John looked at it and I looked at it. The payoff is somewhere around $43,000 by the time we put the well and all the back payments in. We have the 22,544 or something like that coming in from the consolidated SOC, and if you subtract that, you come up with a number around 20,500 that comes cash from us or somewhere. But we have the cash as far as we see right now. Yeah, be kind of interesting. The amount of cash we'll have to expend exactly almost is within a couple $100 of our retained earnings for the year to date. But other than that, we have not contacted the bank and don't feel any big need to do it unless somebody would advise differently. Or I figure by the time we get close to getting grant deeds and everything, the bank will be more than happy to talk to us. And I don't think there's any chance that they could extend it. And I don't know that we would want to do it. Looking at the line of credit, that had a minimum interest rate, and I believe that's at 4.75, as it wasn't going to go any lower than that. It was an adjustable rate. So I think it's at 4.75 or higher. But paying it off, it's painful. But one thing it does, it takes all the known liens off of all the properties. So it's not burning money, but it's kind of painful. Since we've spent our effort this year, and now we see the cash going out the door. Cash is kind of nice stuff. Anyway, line of credit, we haven't talked to the bank, and we know what our the stocks plus about 20,500 will or 21,000 will be the payoff to clear that lane. And is there anything else? Questions on that line of credit or the title?
No?
Okay, well, I know what there's an add-on on that. The life estate with Break. I talked with Art briefly yesterday in terms of him talking, and we kind of thought that Art's got a pretty good rapport with Break, and maybe he could call him up here in a week or within the next week or so and say, hey, you know, the attorney for the trustees sent the grant deed with the life estate provisions in it. And so we'd like to get a verbal, at least a verbal form. And the judge, it doesn't go in front of the court. The court's has not seen that grant deed and probably won't. So it's off to the side. But if Rake wanted to come to the hearing and object to something, I suppose he should. But anyway, the thought maybe having Art call him and say, hey, you know, we've done everything. We've done everything on our part. We're taking all the credit line and all the problems with it and agreeing to split the long-term improvements to 1090 Big Bend, and at least get a verbal from Brake that he's still a go with everything. And we'd like approval. Yeah,
and we look forward to a good long-term relationship.
yeah.
Good. Daryl, who actually from the properties will sign the deeds? Whose job is that?
Say the question again. Who?
Do we need
That would be his, that
somebody-
would be DAP's trustee would sign the grant deeds, right? Nobody from our side signs it. We don't have to sign it because it's been granted to us.
No.
Okay.
Our only obligation will start, I suspect, at the time of filing of the deeds, unless we ask the trustee to do it, and we'll have to pay to have each deed filed. I think they'll be $75 each, is what I got off the website, I think.
So that would be Kathy Kirby, is that what you're saying?
That'd be Kathy Kirby. I'm sure she'd be very happy to take them over to the courthouse and file them for us. That would be one of her better tasks in life. She'd appreciate having the property not under her domain anymore.
Dale, the other thing you possibly could do is you might be able to get Stewart Title here in Lincoln to get those recorded for us. Probably, I mean, I know the manager there really well. I don't know if she'd even charge us anything. We're not really putting title insurance on it, but there could be some just pass through the recording fees if you want me to ask her.
You can ask her in case it comes about, because the file fee is a court requirement. So the title company might do it, might help us out. If you want to check with her, and then if we need her, we'll have her, Clark. That'd be a good idea.
Just as an option if you need it. Okay, I'll check with her.
Okay, thank you. And that's all I've got on that item B, unless somebody has any questions.
Okay, item C, which is the insurance update.
Okay, I got a email from David. I asked him last week and he got it to me, and it came in here last night late. But the only thing is to start looking at the insurance to make sure that we have the ability to slap it in place when we do take title, or we know we're going to take title, and also that we're not doing any double paying and such. And it has the full details of what I asked him to do, all the full details on what we have now. And he's got we've got our primary liability policy of $1 million as being, since we're taking the money, we have some liability at least for being in the middle of it, and then an excess policy of $3 million. And I'm just these numbers aren't important other than just to say that they exist. And before we I'll get that email to us all, and we can kind of figure out where we want. I don't think we need 3 million of excess policy. Some things have changed a little bit. Then beyond that, he has a summary of all the other insurances, and they're kind of with different people, and say he's starting to put out bids. He's 30, first, he's still trying to get DNO. Secondly, we need, I will get him the probate officers, appraisers, values of the properties. So he has correct numbers. They've currently, the property at Marysville is insured for $30,000 for the dwelling. I would think that would be the front door, the back door, and the kitchen. So I'll get him accurate numbers. All these numbers are the insurance that Kathy Kirby has on the properties. Let's put it that way. Then again, just what we need to do is as we get closer to April 16th or get into April, we need to nail down insurance and talk about access and what we really want for policy limits. And we just talked that we're all comfortable not having the DNO, but with our revision to bylaws that made it a lot firmer about who's going to, about protecting us as board directors a little bit more. So I think that's it on update, unless anybody has any questions. In other words, it's a work in progress. We just got the front end of it.
Good.
Well, I need to, well, I'd like to bring up the property management transfer, and we need to kind of zone in on what date we want that to occur. And then, of course, we need the new property manager to have some opportunity to acquaint herself with the properties and the renters. So build that into your timing.
I agree 100%. I kind of thought we'd cover that under the schedule of tour of properties. Do you still want Hubert to go on that tour? And I guess I've expressed reluctance before to have them see the inside of the properties before we do, just so that we know what we're dealing with. Because I don't want, we just got 100% have to tell them that we've got a rebuild, a rehab problem that's facing us, and so that they don't walk in and say, hey, this is the worst thing, we're not going to be associated with this. So would be having them go on the schedule of tour of properties that we're going to talk next, Jerry, would that be where, and you're going to be the person talking to Huber, right?
Right. Yes, I think they should. I mean, let's go in. They need to go in with their eyes open, just like we do.
Yeah.
And if they see something that they don't, that they want to back out of the deal or the verbal agreement they have with us, then, it's better now to find out about that than it is later.
You're right, Eric.
That's 100%.
Good. Okay.
So anyway, the two, I asked Kathy up front so that, we'd know when she was available. And she requested the 27th, which is a Saturday, and she could do it at 10:30 that morning. And I said, well, give me a backup. And she gave me that Friday afternoon before, but I don't know how many of us want to go on the tour or what. I have some respect for the property owners that we don't have 20 people walking through their house or something, but what's everybody think? Who wants to go on it?
I would
like to go. Yeah.
I know Grazella I would like to go. Friday does not work for me.
I don't want to go. I see no need to go. And I think it would be good if we could have Brian go.
Sure.
Brian or Christine, this is current and future club leadership. And I think it's best if we can to get the club involved as early as we can.
I'd like to note that your committee's all men, but your secretary, your treasurer.
What was that? I couldn't hear that.
It was.
I don't know where that came from. Anyway, I agree. I'll go up to Brian with this idea once we settle with a date. and put that first and then see how he wants to handle it if he doesn't want to go. But so we got John and Graciela, and I'm probably go and stay on the outside. I don't need to see. I mean, I'll go. I'll put myself down as a go. So there's 3 of us. Any more?
Yeah, I'd like to go, but I probably will do the same thing as you and stay outside.
Okay.
I mean,
So
the only, guys, the only reason, if you don't want me to go, I don't have to. The only reason that I was mentioning that I'd like to go, I had to do that before, inspections, apartment inspections. So I have a little bit of experience on what to look for. So I don't know if that's helpful to you guys. If not, I don't have to really go.
No, I think
So-
that's a good idea, Graciela. I'm
Okay.
pleased that you're volunteering to do that.
Okay,
yeah.
Now, we're talking about April 27th
right.
or March
27th
of April?
March. No, March 27th.
March.
March 27th. Okay, and Kathy, I'll get Brian online, or if that works with him, and I hope it does.
Daryl,
Go
do we
ahead,
go
Joshua.
to Marysville too?
We will at some point, yeah.
But
Yeah.
not on that day?
Now let's just keep it simple.
Okay.
Okay. Well. Okay, so we'll go for the 27th at 10:30. And Jerry, you'll see if we can have a Huber representative with us.
I will.
Okay. Now you notice they're advertising in the Lincoln News Messenger, so they're looking for more properties here. And we can hand them 6 of them if they want to. If they work, and I agree 100% with Art. Let's learn up front before rather than later.
Right.
Okay, I don't have anything else on that. Is anything are there other questions on it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
guess
going to
what?
be out of town on the 27th, so I guess I can't do it
Mm.
myself. So, but I'll do the coordination with Huber.
Okay. But otherwise we've got it 10:30 on March 27th. For the rest of us, it'll try and make it along with Brian. Clark, is there anybody else on that committee, the disposition committee, that you'd recommend? Clark, you're muted. Clark, you're muted.
I was gonna, yeah, I know, I was trying to unmute, it wasn't working. Usually you can just hit your space bar
Oh.
down here and it unmutes, but it wasn't happening. It might be a good idea for me to go, actually. So I'm on that.
Well,
committee.
I think that's good because Jerry's not gonna make it.
I think,
Yeah, I'll,
And
I'll
so
put it on my
I'll
calendar.
put-
yeah.
What
good.
time was it on the 27th? 10:30 to start or something like
10:30.
that? Okay.
Okay, we'll come up with a meeting place and all that, and then we'll coordinate that. Actually, anyway, I'll coordinate that in plenty of time once we get it firmed up. Probably just meet at the vacant lot right next there on East Avenue, next to 1131 East Avenue. The other thing that's important, I think, is that we'll have Kathy do this, as far as I know, is I'll help her draft a letter that tells number one, the tenants will have to be notified. Number two, we'll notify them that we are getting closer to taking title, and she can sign it, send it out as trustee. That they'll be and that for the immediate foreseeable future that there's no changes, so for them not to get worried that the whole thing will change. And she can't give them much more information, but something to the tenants to kind of give them a little peace of mind rather than walking through their houses without and they're wonder what's coming next. Does that sound right to everybody?
Yes.
Yes, right.
Daryl, where did you say the meeting place was?
Well, we have that property, what is it, 1131 East Avenue? East Boulevard, whatever it is there.
Yeah,
And there's a vacant lot right next to it. And we could just meet there.
okay.
But if it's
Or or
raining,
you could park at the school that's right next to that as well. That has an actual parking lot.
that's probably a good idea in case there's been rain or whatever. So, okay, we'll put it to a school parking lot since it's a Saturday. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay, anything else on it? Jerry, I don't know, since you're gonna be along, anyway, when you're talking to Huber, we're going to have new rental agreements. We're going to have the new ball of wax and rehab. But we all would think, I don't know, the disposition committee is going to come up with increasing rents. Some of the rents are the same as they were 7 years ago. And at that time, they sure weren't paying the property taxes that we're talking about. And since that's the next thing on the agenda, we can go to see what happened there, Jerry.
It has not been scheduled yet. I have called the clerk of the board, and she has not gotten back with me yet. So I suspect it'll be sometime in late March or April.
Yeah. If we're crossing our fingers for data transfer of title, we can also cross our fingers for lower assessed values on those numbers.
Right.
Anyway, that's, you want to talk the mowing now, John?
Sure. Yeah, in the past, we've talked about having members do the mowing of the vacant lots. We've talked about, most recently, we had a proposal that the members from the Mormon Church as volunteers might be willing to do it, and then further talking to them about it. They really can't do anything with the equipment that's required, so that sort of takes them out of the equation. And in talking to Daryl and to others, to Jerry and others, we've really come back to hiring our gentleman that does the landscape for us. I think he's going to charge $30 a lot. So he's a handyman is what I'm trying to say. And so that's really where we're at. He's scheduled, I think, to start next week. Is it, Daryl?
Well, it's been scheduled this week, and then he put his mower in for the repair, and they've got a belt that they're getting. I talked to him yesterday, so we're trying to do it tomorrow, have it done tomorrow.
Okay.
But if it doesn't do then Thursday and looks like rain, and Friday, so that will push us into Sunday or Monday. He's 7-day Adventist, so Sunday's one of his working days. But next week looks like a lot of sunshine, so it's within the next 7 to 8 days at the most. Let's put it that way.
And the bottom line is it's going to get done, which is hooray, hooray.
Yeah, and that was an estimate on his part. So if he ends up doing a little bit more, the other thing I will have him do is I hate to do it. Yeah, I don't hate to do it, but like 360 and 380, Kathy says they've been mowing and taking care of their yards for the last 5 years. So while he's there, we'll go ahead and have him knock their lots down too. That'll make it look better for Huber if we have him with us on the 27th. So a couple extra lots, but hey, the price is right.
Yeah, good. Okay, anything more on F? G is the bylaws update. Art, I know you asked for that approval from the foundation board. How is that doing?
Well, we need, we either have to have a meeting and get 2/3 approval of our members, or, unanimous consent. And I'm still lacking approval from Jerry and Frema. I know Frema is on vacation or travel or something like that.
She's due back on the 17th.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
If you're,
and Jerry, check your emails.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm all in favor. Do I just confirm that with an email?
Yeah, just respond to one of the emails I sent to you, or just send me an email that you confirm your approval of the bylaws update for LRC properties, something like that. That'll work.
All right, I will do that
Yeah.
tonight.
Okay, then I'm sure we can get Frema. I'm going to talk to her as soon as she gets back. So well, I think we're going to be in good shape. We do have a foundation meeting next month. So
Yeah. If worst comes to worst, we'll just have the board members approve it there. But I think we can get it done.
I think so too. Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, you're real close. Good, thank you. H is the board members, any input from the club board? Daryl?
No, it was discussed that we're right on track. As per our memorandum of understanding, we'll have a formal vote on it next board meeting, which is next week, Thursday of next week is, I believe. Yeah, I'm sure that's right. But and get the club board has encouraged us the whole way, and it's nothing new. It's just get a formal in the minutes approval from them to go ahead and have LRC Properties Inc. take title to the properties. $2 million worth of property right up front, and 800 and say 30,000, maybe 10 to 12 to 15 years down the line. So, and we hope that there'll be some movement of one property right up front to give us better cash flow for rehab of the other properties. And that'll come from the board next Thursday, a week from this Thursday. So that's all that's there I have from them.
Good.
But I think the question we kind of originally asked was, is there anybody from the club or the club board or even the acquisition, the other committee, to be members of the LRC Properties Board? I think that was a question that was asked. That's what it said in the minutes, at least.
Okay, well, we approved the minutes, so it must have been right.
To be added to the committee.
I can raise that question with my report to the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
There should,
Karen wants to ask that a woman be added to the board besides Graciela.
I think
Thanks, Karen.
I think that's a new law in the state of California, right?
I think
That we have to be half women. So I'll agree to identify as a woman. I think that's legal too.
That's right.
See you dress like one then, Art.
we're going to transcend gender here.
This is getting out of control.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we will talk about that at the club board meeting. I, which is the treasurer's access to Umpqua Bank accounts. Yeah.
I think, at our last meeting, Jerry left the room. He was working with somebody in the garage for some painting or some goddamn thing. And the issue was that because Graziella is not an officer that officially, Jerry is the treasurer of the LRC properties, that maybe, Jerry and Graziella ought to swap positions to give Graziella a little bit more power to deal with the bank.
It's just they keep on, anytime I ask for something, like they're still charging us $23.
Yeah.
And they just won't let me talk about it, not even,
Yeah, I'd be happy to switch out. I don't want to be bookkeeper, if that's what you mean.
No, wait. All right. We're gonna be looking for a secretary. Is that something that you might be willing to do?
It's not my favorite position, but if need be.
Okay, that might really.
Not a lot, so you're not gonna be-
And I'm going to be gone a lot, but
Well, if you're gone, I would pinch it for you.
okay.
But let's see, I think clearly, we're going to be changing some officers in July. And do we want to take the action to officially elect Graziella as treasurer and change the bank signing accordingly at this time? And then I think the only issue then becomes how do Graziella and Jerry reconcile the bank accounts?
Mm-mm.
Or is there any change, from what they're doing now?
For me, it wouldn't have to be any change. I mean, that's up to Jerry.
Yeah, no,
But
that's fine.
it works really well the way we work together now. So
And we do the same thing for the foundation. So,
yeah.
Graziella does the reconciliation and I review her work, and I think Jerry reviews
Yeah, I do the same.
for the properties.
Yep.
Yeah, so that works.
Awesome.
Okay, so this will,
Well, would it be in order for me to move that Graziella be elected treasurer of this august body?
that's a motion. Do we have a second?
I will second it.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. That Graziella become the treasurer of the LRC properties. Inc. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, we have a new treasurer.
Okay, I'll put together a resolution to that line to provide to the bank. And I'll get I probably need a couple signatures. No, I guess I can probably sign that one myself. So I'll do that during this coming week, during next few days.
Perfect,
Thank you.
good.
Okay, I need to go and I'm so sorry, but I need to turn off. If there's anything, I will look in the minutes. So, but I have people coming over, if you don't mind. I'm gonna turn off.
Now, what time were we there for dinner?
Yeah, no, I made some really nice appetizers. There's plenty, so come on by.
Open house.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait until we can do that. You don't know how much, right? Because I love having people over for food, for meals. Bye.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Graciela.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Okay, is there any new business before the committee or board?
Just to mention that this is pertaining to John and Art. I've made the application to give each of you access information only on the Vanguard accounts. But when I submitted that last week, I was told, but it'd be 2 or 3 weeks before I heard back. So.
Okay, thank you.
In the meantime, I'll continue to send you monthly statements, and if you want to see something in the middle of the month, then let me know and I'll shoot those out to you too.
Good. Thank you.
One other, it's new business or other business here, is do you think it's time that we get maybe at one of our club meetings, that we have 3 to 5 minutes or something like that to tell the club, what's going on with LRC properties? I mean, this is potentially one of our biggest raisers that we're ever going to have. And I think we need to get, by presenting to the club, we might get more interest and involvement in going ahead with our properties, whatever we're going to do with it.
Art John did that within the last 6-7 weeks.
Right.
You did a full-blown meeting, the whole meeting. Showed slides of every property, went through everything.
Yeah,
And you may not have been at that one because I know you were still
right.
kind of recuperating. But I mean, maybe we could do it again. But
I'm suggesting, we've, as part of our club meetings, we have committee reports, or at least we hope to have committee reports. And we don't always have all our committees reporting, but I think this is right up there at the same level as committees, and 2 to 3 minutes on where we stand.
oh, okay. So you're just saying he should be on kind of the standing agenda, LRC
Right.
properties as a committee report each week when Brian asks about the, yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
Sure.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought you were suggesting like we do another meeting. Yeah, I think it's a terrific idea.
I think what's really important is to get this court date behind us, and then we'll have something to, I think, that's more tangible to tell the club members about.
Yeah. And certainly, you can start this off with, we had our board meeting this last week, and we're scheduling the tour of the properties, because we think that the title transfer is almost here, and a couple other bullets, and that's it.
Well, and to that point, I did invite the 2 new members to today's meeting, and they both had conflicts, and so they appreciated the invitation. And if that had not been the case, they would have been here to listen.
And maybe in one of the club meetings, you offer that same offer that if anyone wants to attend our board meetings, just let you know.
Well, and the point is that we meet every month, so there's a lot of frequency.
Yeah.
Since I work with Brian on the agenda every week, I mean, I don't really do the agenda. He does it, but he sends it to me. I'll send him a note just to add that as a standing item. Like Karen fundraising, Clark membership,
Yeah.
LRC properties. So,
And it doesn't mean you have to have something every meeting, but.
yeah, you don't have to say anything if you don't have anything to add, but like Art said, that Art's got just a couple of things you could say in a couple of minutes and be good for the club to know that.
Right.
It's involvement. I mean, we're having problems now because we don't have the opportunity to rub shoulders every week at the Women's Club. And it's just one more item of discussion about the good things that our Rotary Club is doing.
Well, and going forward, this $3 million asset is going to be very, very important to this club long term. So, yeah.
Okay, did Clark leave us? I see we've got the.
No, I'm here.
Oh, he's
I'm
here.
here.
We've got the Amalfi Coast or something showing up now.
Looks like Highway 1.
Yeah, that's California someplace. I don't know.
Oh.
How did that happen? I don't know how that happened.
I don't know.
We had that earlier.
There it is. You see it?
Okay, so we're going to put that down under
I think we can stop sharing anyway.
other business. Art, your item. Your last item. Anything else under other business or new business?
No, I see the next month's meeting will be on April 15th. No, I'm sorry, April 20th, which will be after the hearing date.
Uh,
The third Tuesday in April is the 20th.
the 20th,
That'd be good timing.
and the hearing is,
That
the
Friday
16th.
before.
so that's good.
Looks good to me.
Mhm. And Art, we'll talk about this more, but I'm thinking that we might have the foundation board following the properties board.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
All right. Anything else?
I'm
Motion to
for
adjourn?
adjournment.
Got a motion to adjourn, all in favor?
Hi,
Aye.
Happy Green Beer Day.
yeah,
All right.
that's tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's what I
It
think.
is
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, all right.
Or is it Thursday? Well, it's coming soon.
Coming.
17th tomorrow.
I think it is.
Tomorrow, tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.